Welcome back, everybody. Today we are checking out a somewhat controversial set in the LEGO fanbase. This is, of course, set 76273, the Batman construction figure and Batpod bike based off of the Dark Knight trilogy with 713 pieces. And while the buildable figures aren't commonly loved in the LEGO community, this one received much more hate for its regular price of $65. If you're a 10 cents per piece person, then I'm sure that's fine with you, but it's still over double the price of what we're regularly getting for a buildable figure. The good news though is that this set is discounted regularly, and I was able to pick it up on a great deal at Walmart for $26. So I'm going to get this thing built up so we can find out whether this set has any cool features to offer or if it's just another lackluster buildable figure in the line of dreaded DC potential. Here is our Dark Knight buildable figure of Batman. I think overall LEGO did a good job here, and this is probably one of my favorite buildable figures that we've gotten to date. LEGO gave him a very large real cloth cape here, which I think works really nice. The detailing is definitely noticeable throughout the build, and he's got that standard articulation of a regular buildable figure. My only nitpicks would be the bat emblem being cut off on the torso, and maybe the silver parts standing out a little bit, but there's not a whole lot that LEGO could have done there. The mouth print looks a tad off to me, I'm not really sure why, but then again, I think this is a solid figure and does a good enough job here to represent the Dark Knight. And one compliment I will give these buildable figures, even though not too popular, they're very smooth and there's not many studs around, so in the end it ultimately makes for a solid clean build, and I'm pretty satisfied with it. Taking a look at our bat pod here, I think it turned out really well. The last bat pod that we got was in 2015 for a VIP sweepstakes, and that was limited to only 750 being made, causing it now to sell for around $2,000. I think that the build here looks pretty good, and while I would have assumed that this was targeted towards kids, the Technic here is definitely more tedious than I would have guessed. I love the massive tires here that make for a complete look and probably also added to the price of the set. I think that the build for the cannons on the front is a massive upgrade compared to what we got in 2015, and LEGO added some stud shooters to play with on the front. With Batman added on, I think it adds for solid display on a shelf and good play for a younger demographic. I think that the scaling is overall done really well here, as a lot of the minifigure scale motorcycles can be humongous compared to the Rider for absolutely no reason. And while I don't think $70 is a good price for this at all, I can now understand where a lot of the pieces went, which was to making the Technic and detailing on the bike. And while everyone like myself would prefer to get better minifigure scale builds for DC, I think if LEGO continues to make the buildable figures, I'd love to see more like these where they have integrated vehicles and look really cool. Now, in my opinion, I'm totally surprised to say that I really like the look of this set. I would definitely never pay $70 for this. I would not recommend it for the full price. But if you're a DC fan, I would definitely recommend picking this one up on discount, especially if you like the Dark Knight, or if you were like me and found it for half off or less. But let me know in the comments if you see any appeal with this set, and what buildable figures LEGO should make next. I'll catch you in the next one.